Whatever
Yeah.
you watch, if you watch anything, just make sure say you
No, me I watch it. I watch all program. It doesn't have no beat, no sound on it.
My name is Garth, otherwise known as Big G.
My name is Richie Blackford.
Mrs. Griffiths would have been very proud of her daughter, Marcia, even though she reluctantly allowed her into the music business. Marcia went.
What we need to do is to recognize that if we put investment in, we are revitalizing communities. How we deal with small man? And so the sound system start to come up. The sound system was the small man entertainment.
Inimitable. Toots. Sir Frederick Hibbert himself. And the Maytals.
This was a big song, God. Big song for many small. In fact, Prince Buster had his imprint all over it, you know.
Sundays come here.
Yes, brethren, we're live. We're live today. Yeah, man. It's another Sunday.
It is another Sunday.
Another Sunday.
And if it's Sunday, it is Sunday scoop style.
Yes, sir. Today we're featuring the one and only Horace Andy, the man with the silky voice. So, yes, sir, Richard, how are you holding up in this quarantine self-shelter in place?
It have me away. But if we want to survive this thing, we're not a choice. That's what them say. We have to live it through. So
we have a choice now. We can go to the road and
no. But I tell you what, when you watch all of the way how this illness take on some of them people, you wouldn't wish that on your greatest enemy.
That is true. That is true. Yes, that is true.
It's very, very debilitating. The evidence that I've seen. But guess what? You know, as a species, we have been here several times before, and I guess you know, we will survive. I think we were designed to survive these types.
Yeah, man, we're just like a virus, you know.
No, I don't know about. I am not no virus.
We insert yourself into the planet, and we're here to stay. So listen, let us big up those of us, or those of you who are listening, or who are watching on Facebook Live, or if you're listening on mixlr.com, Old School Rules. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're watching on carryvibes.com, those are the different medias that are available. And our debut today, our own website, where we're broadcasting on yardmedia.com, YAAWD.com, and we're right there. You can just click on us. And those of you who may be experiencing issues on Facebook, if Facebook happened to lock us off because we're playing the songs too long, you can go over to yardmedia.com.
So, if it is Sunday, it is
Sunday Scoops.
Time. And today, just as you just pointed out, just for emphasis, we are going to be focusing on a man who, in my opinion, one of the classic vocalists to come out of Jamaica, the one and only Horace Sleepy Andy. And
yes,
today we have a nice little program lined up for you. My name is Richard Blackford, and I'm your host.
And I'm Big G, the co-host.
Absolutely. And guess what? from what I know, knowing you have a feel of music lineup for this program today.
Yeah, man.
So let us get cracking. Want to again take the opportunity to welcome all those people who are joining us from all over. I know there are people watching from the United Kingdom, as far away as that, Jamaica, and all over. And this is another of the Shelter in Place edition of Sunday Schools. Now, Mr. God, I know you are a soul man, right?
Yep.
And you know, I listen to you play all the time, and I make no pretense at being a soul man, you know, but I grew up with this music. So today, I want us to visit with a man who, in my opinion, when you talk about dance, the laying the foundation for Jamaican reggae music, I him that, you know, the one and only Horace Sandy. Now, Horace, born and grew Kingston. I don't know if you know that he was related to Justin Hines from
Yes,
Justin Hines and
he's a cousin.
cousin. And he basically followed Justin Hines in the business, but was a little bit shy, according to him. Justin Hines was a big name and he didn't want to be pushing himself out there because Justin Hines had left a huge shadow. So at age 16, he did a little tune with him friend, one of them friend, and this was a kind of a collaborative effort, a tune called "This Is Black Man's Country," and we want to give the listeners a little taste of what Horace Andy sounded at the time he was born, Horace Hines, you know,
Yes,
and we're going to
yes.
talk about how he became Horace Andy over time.
Yeah.
But
The thing about him to Horace Hines is that he's also another February man, and as you know, Jamaica has been blessed with a plethora of February people like Marley, Derek Harriott, Dennis Brown,
Dennis Brown,
So
yeah.
the February, as the Rastafarian said, the line of Joseph, because the Joseph people are born in February. So if you didn't know that, if you're born in February, you're from the line or the lineage of Joseph. But Black Man's Country done with producer Phil Pratt, and like the guy who we featured last week, Greg Isaac, this man also collaborated and played the role of producer. And this first track, as I said, didn't really go anywhere, but we can give you a little taste of Black Man's Country.
Black Man's Country.
This is a black man's country that will treat them like the real king. This is a black man's country that will treat them like the real king. They work so hard just to build up the country. They work so hard just to be what they are. That's why we got to treat them like a real king. We gonna live together. We gonna
Yeah, that was Horace Andy's early effort. He did that tune with his friend Frank Melody.
Yes.
I think that tune was he took it to Coxon. Well, he actually did the tune as a single, but out of the effort, because it didn't go anywhere, he decided to go try a thing with Coxon, and he went to Coxson's Sunday morning, typical Sunday morning.
Under the big mango tree on Belmont Road.
audition, right, under the big mango tree. And he took his friend, Melody, and Frankie Melody, and they did a tune, which Coxsone kind of never had no use for it. He didn't think it was worth anything. And so that again, flop him short. In fact, it would have pushed him back in the recesses because after he did that Phil Pratt tune and nothing never happened, he kind of stayed in the background for a couple of years. But rather than wait, the following week he turned up at Coxsone again. This time,
Honeymoon.
yeah, he turned up by himself, and is a man. The man a reputation. They call him sleepy, right? The slightest little, at a moment's notice, he drop asleep, and
that's all like me.
well, guess what? This time he hit the microphone running, and the tune that opened the door for him was a tune called "Got to Be Sure." Right?
Yes,
that
sir.
tune, by the time he did the first 2 bars of the tune, Coxsone liked it and decided we're gonna go with it. We wanna give the listeners a taste of Horace Sanders, Got to Be Sure.
We also should point out that when he released Black Man's Country, it was under his born name or his government name, Horace Hines. Yes. Right. So here is so now you can tell the story of how we got after we play Got to Be Sure.
Yeah, let's touch it first.
Yes.
Now, as I'm listening to him playing there and singing there, and it takes me back to my days because this was what 1971, 72.
Yes, 1971.
I would have been in third form at the great North Street School. But
which one, George's?
I'm going to have to look for a contract again. But I remember these were the days of Augustus Pablo and all these, the talent, the singing and musical talent that was reposed over by the college. And so, as a young man coming up this time, Horace and they really grabbed us because it was around the same time when every little man I try to put together him like a sound system and so on.
Right.
Horace Andy was a staple on the turntable. Now, when he released this tune, when he did this tune, Coxsone was a little uncertain about releasing it under his same government name, Horace Hines. But Coxsone is a man who's famous to change up people's name and all that thing. So at the time too, he had just lost Bob Andy. Bob Andy had decided to go pursue his own solo career.
Right.
And Coxsone just decided to say, we just call him Horace Andy, man. Horace Andy, and that was it. Horace Andy became the name stamp on the record, and out of that, Horace Andy was born. Now, it got to be sure, it never light up the charts, but it certainly gave an indication of the kind of promise that that Horace Andy had, and he followed that up. Right behind that, in same year, 1971, he put out "See a Man's Face," which again, a very prophetic, counseling type of a tune. Over to you.
Yeah, because at the time too, we have to understand that we're a deeply religious community, and a lot of the songs that came out too were echoes of Bible verses, you know.
Right.
So here is "See a Man's Face."
You see a man's face, but you don't see his heart. You see a man's face, but you don't know his thoughts. Everywhere you go, there's a man to say love. But never, 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 never take it to heart. For your heart is your heart, and your thoughts is your thoughts. So don't mix love with hatred. For your heart is your heart, and your thoughts is your thoughts. So don't mix love with hatred. You see a man's face, but you don't see his heart. You see a man's face, but you don't know his thoughts.
See a Man's Face. This is one of those, as you say, we had that 1970s. It was a Rasta influence, a big part of it too. And Rastaman generally talk straight from the heart.
Yes.
Essentially what Horace Andy is saying here, that listen, you really can't know people just by them appearances. Eh?
Yeah, you don't know what they're thinking at all.
There you go. And more importantly, is not what am I show you on the outside, but is what is on the inside. Typical Rastaman reasoning, and Horace Andy at that time would have been, a devout young Rastaman coming up, and you will see that coming through in his music, as we go through the program. Right behind that, though, he followed up with another tune. It's amazing. He hit the ground, and Coxon, as is noted, is going to ream him up. He followed that up with another big tune, Night Owl, right? Which, again, a celebration. Here comes the night owl walking through the front door. That tune have a whole heap of connotation type thing. Let's give a listen. Horace Andy.
Walking through the front door. Oh, we, baby, I don't love you no more. Now you come to tell me what a fool you've been.
The thing about this song, it was done by Hubert Lee and the Clarendonians.
Right.
Or by the Clarendonians with Hubert Lee as lead singer, too.
And he took it well, but again, here is in my view, it was a tune that was typical of the time. Because, most man spend a lot of time. Most Jamaican man, in the 1970s, most of them on a car, so you walk go everywhere, or you take the buses. The bus stop run by 11 o'clock. So wherever you are,
If you're
you're
lucky.
going, yeah, the footmobile you deal with on the way. And as I'm saying, it very, very engaging little tune. Force you to be looking back. I want to just use the opportunity again, God, while we're here. A lot of people quietly join. Want to welcome you. It's Sunday. It is Sunday Scoops, and today we are featuring the music of the great Horace Andy. Want to particularly big up Colin Ben and Paul Reed, who been regular followers of the Sunday Scoop program, wherever you are. This is Sunday Scoops. And again, as we said, today we're featuring the music of the great
Yep.
Horace Andy. Now,
Also,
I'm happy to know.
on my corner, I want to big up a couple of people. Again, my brother
Yeah,
tuning in from Saudi Arabia, Jacoby, one of my classmates.
yes.
My brother Luke and Don Jones from up in the hills of Christiana, Manchester. Give thanks for tuning in. Sister Marie. Yeah.
Also, want to just remind people, if you're having any issues with the telecast on Facebook, you can go to our website at www.yardmedia.com, and that's YAAWD. Now, the next tune, which tune called Fever, if you remember, Nina Simone had a big tune out at that
Yes.
time,
Yes.
and You Give Me Fever. This was, to my way of thinking, an influence drawn from this tune, but a nice tune nonetheless, and a big party tune at the time. Let's give a listen. Horace Andy.
Wow, 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 yeah. Wow, 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 yeah. Mama didn't tell me that you were so lovely. The reason why you wanna give me fever, you wanna give me fever in the morning, you wanna give me fever in the evening, in the night, in the night. Got to believe her, I could not deceive her. Mama say yeah, would give me fever.
Big tune. Well,
Yeah.
he followed this up with a tune that to me takes me right back. When this tune busts, you could almost remember exactly where you were when this tune busts out. And in fact, one of the tune that has had the most significant influence on the dub side of reggae music. This was the epic Studio One, what we call the foundation music of Studio One, music called Mr. Basie.
Yes.
This is
And
a
I've
tune.
I've
Yeah, go
no
ahead.
doubt in my mind that Leroy Sibbles was behind this.
In fact, Leroy Sibbles was the tune was dedicated to the role that Leroy Sibbles played in the music, because Sibbles actually played the bass on this tune, and so he was literally celebrating the bassman and the role that the bassman played in holding the tune together. And
Yeah.
when you
And
listen to how he put those lyrics together, you almost get a feel of standing there watching the band play, because this was him celebrating the role of the bass player in the music.
yes. And the thing about that too, if you any session you go, if you go to the park right now or if you go to a dance hall, when the man them tuning them sound and we actually playing music, everybody waiting for what to drop? The bass line. And
There you
most
go.
sounds are judged by how heavy your bass is. So here is
Well,
Mr. Bassy celebrating the great Leroy Sibbles.
Hey, Mr. Bassy, play your song for me. Keep on playing it all the while, right from dusk till dawn. Hey, Mr. Bassy, oh, how I love it so. 'Cause it tickles deep in my bones, way down to my toes.
Mr. Bassey, this is quintessential Horace Andy. In fact, Horace revisited this song on at least 2 or 3 other occasions. I think the
Yeah,
latest
was in
rendition,
1986.
right? But he also he did a variation in 1978 as well, and then he went back to the tune 1986. In fact, this is one of the demonstration of the versatility or the significance of Horace Andy to the music at the time, because he had his ears to the ground. He had a pretty good feel for where the music was going. As you know, as we were discussing early on, he, unlike most vocalists, most singers who just write a tune and come to the studio and perform it, Horace Andy took a very significant part in terms of getting involved with the organization and music
The
behind
arrangement of
the
the music
arrangement
and
behind
the
it.
production. And
Right.
the thing about Horace Andy too is that based on the music critics, those who criticize our music, like Radigan and Mike Katz and all the writers who have written about reggae over the years, is that even when he revisits a song, there's never been a poor rendition. It has always sounded just as good as the original or even better. And I'm going to give the listeners a little touch of the 1986 Mr. Bassey real quick.
There you go.
Hey, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, Mr. Bassy, play a song for me. Keep on playing it all the while, right from the steel dawn. Keep on playing it, y'all. Don't stop, no, don't, y'all. Hey, Mr. Bassy.
Boy, I almost want Jordy Barrington leave it on the same rhythm.
No, you can't. This is not a Barrington Levy program. Again, wanna welcome a couple of people. Wanna welcome my good friend Dr. Chernet Grant. Wanna also welcome the people like Colin Ben Felling, Rudolph Daly. We do this every Sunday, right, God? And we
Yes.
need you to share this out. What we try to do on Sunday Scoops is to literally tell the stories behind our music.
Yes, and
We
to
play the tune.
also encourage you to listen to music with a different ear after you've been
Absolutely.
educated, you know.
Absolutely. And also just want to remind you, if you're having any issues with Facebook, feel free, visit our website at www.yardmedia.com.
I also want to big up the listeners on Old School Rules on MixLR, and also those who are listening on carryvibes.com. And Carry Vibes continues right after us at 4 o'clock with the Exotic Soul with Ale Chinlock. So big up Carry Vibes DJs and listeners.
Now, after kicking down the door with Mr. Basie, I think by this time the market recognized now the value and the role of Horace Andy. And so he literally opened 1972. And 1972 was a significant year. It was the year of the elections. PNP won the election run with the JLP at the time. Horace Andy released right after Mr. Basie literally take over the place. He followed up with what I would refer to as his most monumental tune. Eh?
Yes. And the thing about this song too reminds me of, sorry, I over talked you a while ago. The name of the song is Skylarking. But the thing that I love about this song too is, as a kid, this time I was about 7 years old. But yeah, where I grew up, there's a lot of walls, a lot of barrier walls, because it's in the mountains. You have a lot of precipice. But the youth used to sit down on the wall, and police used to bother them because they were skylarking. So this song just puts that into perspective for me. You're talking about the idle youth, you know.
You need to remember when you hear the song that when you call me at any time, you need to say
Mr. Sir, Mr. Sir.
Here we go. Let's give a listening to Skylarking. Today we're featuring Horace Andy, and you're listening to and you're watching Sunday Scoops. Over to you, Mr. B.
Skylarking, that's what you do today. Skylarking, before they stand up firm on their feet. Get a little work, and earn their bread honestly. Begging you a 5 cent, sir. Begging you a 10 cent, sir. Cannot help, no, cannot help. So if you all keep on doing what you all are doing, you will end up in jail.
You know something, God, as you play this tune, and you remember one of the features of this period. I remember it was a sort of a change in the era. The rude boy thing had taken on a different tone, but there were some other issues because in a way this is a sort of a social commentary to
Yes.
Well, it's not a sort of it is a social commentary, and it's commentary that was saying you need to watch your step because by this time now, especially as a Rastaman, you see police as an instrument of the state. You know, the liberal dole out of brutality, that kind of thing. And so if you're not careful, and police have had a reputation at the time to just pick up the youths off of the street corner and carry them, go lock them up, and the parents will know where them there and that kind of thing. So this was him making that pronouncement. Now, one of the things with this tune as well is that when the tune just cut, they took a copy of the tune to, I don't know if you remember the song called Tipper Tone Hi-Fi.
Okay. Don't remember.
Tipper Tone Hi-Fi was a big upcoming sound in Kingston at the time. Well, they took this tune to Tipper Tone, right? And when the tune dropped on Tipper Tone turntable, the thing tear down the place. Eh? In fact, it is because of the reaction of the crowd at the Tipper Tone set. That Coxon the following Monday morning literally hit the production button and pushed this tune out on the street. The tune basically it rocketed its way to the top of the Jamaican.
This is no doubt a monster hit, a monster hit. You know,
Yeah.
Shearer was just replaced. Michael Manley was now in power, and as you said, there was wholesale attack against Rastafarians and also idle youths. But also, what was significant too is the fact that he's talking about beg you 5 cents and 10 cents. And in 1972, 10 cents went along. You could literally put a pot on fire with 10 cents.
With 10 cents, absolutely. It just show you again how far we have come, because this is the state of affairs during that time. So I'm gonna beg you 10 cents. It's not like him not an ambition, because 5 cents or 10 cents.
Yeah, but the highest currency in 1972 was $10. $20 never come out yet.
You are right. It was $10, but that is where we are coming from. The tune did extremely well, and essentially, once the tune took off in the way that it did, Horace Andy literally now became a household name on the thing. He followed that up with another wicked tune, "The Love of a Woman," again showing versatility in terms of his ability to put material out there. He didn't do a lot of cover music. He did some, but a lot of the music that Horace Andy was putting out was music that were songs that he wrote himself.
Right, and co-produced too.
Right, there you go. But let's give a listen to Horace Andy, "The Love of a Woman."
Now, this remind me of
Yes, which is another not a big tune, but I want you to pay attention to the lyrics, right? Because essentially, what Horace Andy is saying here is, because if you remember, we talked earlier about the skylarking bad boy kind of image,
right,
that was being represented, right? The thing with this song is Horace Andy saying him no in the business of go rob nobody, because the only thing him willing to thief is little love from a woman. If you listen to the lyrics, the love of a woman is all I can steal. Because what? Give him another little piece of that. Big tune, big tune.
Back from the top, "Love of a Woman."
I did it 2 times already. Yeah. Now I'm gonna do it once again.
Horace Andy, man. Listen, if you're just joining us, this is Sunday Scoops, and today we're featuring the great voice of one of the best vocalists, my opinion, coming out of Jamaica and during this period, Horace Andy. Wanna just big up people like Sultan Ali, son of Prince Buster. Good to have you on board. In fact, one of these days we have to put a seat on the side and bring him on the show. Mr.
Yes,
Prince
yes,
Buster, you
yes.
talk about the old man who we revere on this show, right, God?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Massive, massive,
Absolutely.
massive, massive
Them man,
respect.
their foundation. Also, wanna just welcome everybody else who has joined us. You are in tune with Sunday Scoops, Derek Dodd, regular Dwight Montgomery, my Camperdown, Parados.
Don't forget Farmer George, you know.
Oh, he must send man to bump me off, you know. Farmer George. The man then and plus Farmer George, me realize is a big dancehall man from the choir to them. Well, like him is a big time political commentator, but I realize that him, this music thing,
Yeah,
wicked.
man. I also
Amazing,
want
right?
to big up the listeners over by Old School Rules, especially Dimitri, who's listening from France. You know, he says he looks forward to this program every Sunday. So big up Dimitri.
Absolutely. Also want to big up Charlie Wood again, another Fortis man. Now we're talking about Horace Andy, another big monster that came from his pen was this tune, Every Tongue Shall Tell. Now, we're talking about the consciousness, and when you talk about Rasta in the 1970s, this is where Rasta man is. Again, we have a big up Prince Buster, a man who bring Rasta in the mainstream
Yes, sir.
Jamaican music.
Oh,
And
Carolina,
so
with
with
Count
our
Ozzy
Paradise.
and the
Absolutely.
Nibingy drummers.
But here is a man now who epitomized Rastaman in terms of the consciousness of his lyrics, Horace Andy. And here is Horace telling us that every tongue shall tell.
Every tongue shall tell on the day when the Lord comes again to judge everyone for the wrong they have done and all the lies they have told on that day. That dread day, all your backsliders and all your false prophets, where will you go on that day? That dread day.
1972 was a very prolific year for Horace
Yes.
Andy. In fact, because all of them tune we play so far in a God,
It's
them
been
tune
1972.
and they are absolute, and they all stood by themselves, right?
Yes.
They
Yes.
were big party tune because them time me little young boy I go my little Harborview party. In fact, right, I used to move with some youth from Harborview, Norman Marsh, who now play on Cool FM. And I think I told you about our little set. We used to call the set BFI. and BFI is the acronym for Brute Force and Ignorance Incorporated. But that's where we learn about them through there from the Brute Force and Ignorance days. Wanna big up people like Norman Marsh.
Yes.
Wanna big up Michael, Miguel Roper from
Also,
those
the
days.
likes of Dr. Dennis Howard listening.
Yes, Dr. Dennis Howard. Yes, how can we not pay a special special welcome to Dr. Howard? As soon as we settle out with our technology issues, we want to bring Dr. Howard get his own feedback.
Well, it's not even so much
No,
technology issues. It's just that we're not in the same place, you know. So
not right,
yeah.
which
So
allows us to think. But anyway, he went further now, and he did a version of a Cat Stevens tune, which blew me away. The tune called "Where Do the Children Play." Now, when you talk about an emotional tune, and if you listen to Horace and his interpretation of this music, with the haunting strains of his voice as he pulls your heartstring, in terms of his delivery of this tune. Give a listen. Horace
yeah,
Sandy.
and before we touch that song, we just want to big up our technical crew, Mr. Olivier Brown and his wife, DMR Media. Give you thanks for so much for the effort you put out every Sunday in making this production worthwhile, and making us look good while we do the Sunday school. So big up Magic, Cat Stevens cover, Horace Sandy, Where Do the Children Play?
Oh, well, I think it's fine. Flying jumbo planes or hitching a ride on a Kingston train. You know I've been to school. Lord, I'm such a fool. And it isn't my fault, no, 'cause I follow your rules. Ooh, no, I come a long way, changing day to day. But tell me, where do the children live? Where do they play? Where do they play? We've been building roads way back in the past, and they disintegrate. Lord, and it happens so fast. Cars fall apart, but you don't care. People complain, but the whole stay there. Yeah. No, I come a long way, changing day to day. But tell me, where do the children play?
Very haunting tune.
I had to make that one play out a little bit longer than I normally do, because it's a bad piece of tune, man.
Man, shut you off,
We always have yard media. Them can go and shut you off. We have yard media, and we have carry vibes, and we have old school rules. So
Old school rules,
we're good there, sir.
absolutely. What again, let's big up some of the people. Maya Lee, Trace, you just joined us. Again, want to say welcome as well to Sultan Ali. And want to say, a happy Sunday to all of you. I'm really happy that you can take the time to join us. And today we're featuring Horace Sandy on Sunday Schools. Now, God, the so prolific was 1972. 71 was amazing, but 72, that's when Horace Sandy really established his class in the recording business in Jamaica. And Coxsone, Coxsone don't miss no opportunity when it comes to stuff like
No,
that.
definitely not. Definitely not.
In no time, Coxsone put together an album that was, what was it? Skylarking was the album.
Yes, that was a compilation of all the singles that he had done in 1972.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think that was just really to kind of a topping off, because Horace Andy was that prolific. And, knowing how the music business was going, we know he would have been leaving Coxsone very, 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 very soon. Not a big tune that he thing was this, if you think Where Do the Children Play was an emotive tune. You want to give a listen to Oh Lord, Why Lord. I mean, this is the deeper sort of a religious side of Horace Andy. Mr. Big G, over to you, sir.
I set the open sky to find the reason why. Oh Lord, why Lord? The color of my skin is said to be an awful sin. Oh Lord, why Lord? No acting and other things. No, I'll never, never understand. I've got to live and live and give much more than I can give. Oh Lord, why Lord? In this world, I just can't seem to find enough. Oh Lord, why Lord?
Yes, again, Horace Andy showing the kind of versatility that made him such a big artist at the time. Now, by 1973, he had now been in his element, if you will.
Yes, yes,
And,
yes.
he was now, experimenting, doing work with other producers as well. Never leave Coxsone yet, but once he started to look around, because that was the nature of the business at the time. They as prolific as these artists were, they really were making a bag of money, but they stayed with the business. And in 1973, he came out with another monster tune called "Children of Israel."
And that's the hallmark of the average Jamaican entertainer. And again, it speaks volumes as to the passion that goes into the music, because these guys not making any money; they're just doing it for the love of the music. I mean, later on, it paid off for some of them,
Right.
like Gregory, and when you have a Simple Red covering your songs, Horace Andy later on, because you stick out with it. But you're right; it's just a passion for the music that's there.
It was a passion, and the important thing is that I've always made the argument that if you want to know what's going on in Jamaica, you want to listen to the music.
Listen to the music.
In as much as Horace Andy wasn't singing the big protest songs or thing, he was still addressing pertinent social issues, and always not far away from his Rastafari faith. Children of Israel is essentially one of those songs that is a celebration, if you will, of just being. Let's give a listen. Horace Andy, done for producer Lenny Chin.
Now, one of the things about this song is the production, the vocals was in the right channel and the instrumentation was in the left channel. That's why it came out with such a low vocals, you know. And I searched
Yeah.
high and low for a better, or even a mono version of this song, but unfortunately, you know, couldn't find one.
Yeah. Well, the, I get to the era Costa by this time. To the early Miss Pottinger would have been among the biggest smaller players, and a lot of the material that you would have been getting, you know, because you realize that
It seems we're having a little bit of technical difficulty on the end of Richie. So the next song that we're going to feature coming up is a song called Money is the Root of All Evil. As we know, the Bible verse says, the love of money is the root of all evil. Not just money, money is the root of all evil. So
no,
let's get into,
don't know
oh, you're back, you're back.
what, that's what happens when not operating at the same place. You know, we're trying casting, but stay with us. All right, so Horace Andy now moved phase of his career, and he's opened 1975 with another big tune. Money is the root of all evil. Right? Again, for me, this
Also known
is
as Money Money.
money. But this is a lot of this music you get from Horace and would form the base, the foundation for dub music that would have been opening up a time to Toby's music at the time.
Right.
A lot of not just Pablo but Horace Andy's music as well, which formed the base of that dub which we became very familiar. Now, to money, the root of Andy, to Sunday schools.
Money, 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 money is the root of all evil. Money, 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 people is the root of all evil. You work for a man and you get no pay. Brother, don't do nothing wrong. Don't let no one influence you. When trouble comes, it's you all alone. Money, 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 people is the root of all evil. Money, 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 tell you it's the root of all evil.
Yeah, this is again, you know, Horace moving to another level. You know, funny with talk about money is the root of all evil. You can't live without it. You know, and a lot of the artists who is one thing to be singing because you love it, you have to be able to pay your bills. fortunately for people like Horace on the door, he by this time he would have now left Studio One, and he is now out involved with started the life with
Yeah,
Stingley,
but
who
this
was now
particular song, Money Money.
yeah.
Now I was saying that Money
Interestingly,
Money it was done with Bunny Lee.
yes. What happened is they no but Phil worked with this with him on this tune as well. But the time that made it was despite all the criticisms you may level at Studio One or at these words, himself Coxon's Studio One was like a prep school, a primary school, a high school, and a university. Because when he went to Coxon,
All in
it's
one.
not so much. Yeah, him say you could have rolled everything. That's where he learned everything. Alton Ellis, he had an opportunity, as him said, to spend some time with Alton Ellis, who encouraged him that if you really want to be a good songwriter, you need an instrument. And so the instrument that he picked up playing was the guitar, you know. And of course, you can see that in his writing delivery and how the prolific nature with which he turned out song. He did another song that I think we should give the listeners a taste of was Get Wise, and you kind of make you wonder if when he wrote this tune Get Wise, this was him realizing that the smart move would have been to leave Studio One and go on the road and put his talent now to multiple studios. Let's give a listen to Get Wise.
Natty here, natty there, natty can be found anywhere. Soon there'll be nobody. You have to dread and dread. If you're not dread, you can't get no skirt. You have to dread and dread. Cause them your sister no love a ballet. Them your sister love a natty dread. Natty here, natty there. Natty can be found anywhere. But soon there'll be nobody. You have to dread and dread. You have to dread and dread.
Happy Dreader than Dread.
You know, God, I remember when the song busting up, because by this time I would have gone over to Camperdown to the Sixth Farm. And, you know, when you middle 1970s, if you now say Rasta, you now say nothing, right? If you remember, this was around the same time that Junior Biles put out Curly Locks.
Yes,
By this time, the Marleys, the Whalers coming into them own, you know. So every man, because, you know, even though I was a cadet, under the quiet, yes, I carry that go up on my yard, and my woman that kills me. But
even if you buy like a red, green, and gold belt, you have to take it off before you reach home. You wear it
before you reach
on the road. You can't wear it at school.
Absolutely. The red, green, and gold belt was for wear upon the street, and
Yes.
we took great joy in walking from school to go home because you get an opportunity to stay with you know, to walk with your friend. By those times, so the cassette recorder was the biggest thing, and you have a man who was in a group with him cassette recorder. Worse if you ever go get all a dance tape. Eh?
Well, listen,
you would have walked one thing a bit.
And the thing about it too is back in the day when you leave school, you normally take your shirt out of your pants, but just to show off your red, green, and gold belt, You tuck in your shirt.
One side. No, you tuck in one side of the shirt. and you roll up one foot at the pants. When I tell you so,
And you
I didn't
spend. And
roll
you
up my pants
spend.
with that. I roll up my pants with that, never remember to roll it back down. And when I come around the corner, it's my mother I see in the party. Make I tell you, that's another story. But let's move on. If you're just joining us, you are in tune to Yard Media's Sunday Scoops, and today we're featuring the music of the great Horace Andy. Now, Horace Andy did a couple of, these are a couple of songs that he sampled. One of them was Delilah. And,
Yes.
you know, everybody know the origin of that tune. I saw that
Tom Jones.
the great Tom Jones. But let's give a listen to
Horace Andy's
our boy
interpretation.
giving his variation, his take on Delilah. Horace Andy, and you're in tune to Sunday Scoops.
I saw the light on the night that I passed by her window. I saw the flickering shadows of love on her blind. She was my woman. As she deceived me, I watched and read out my mind. My Delilah. Why, Delilah? I could see that girl was looking for me, but I was lost like a slave that no man could free. At break of day when that man drove away, I was waiting. I crossed the street to her house and she opened the door. She stood there laughing. I felt the knife in my hand and she laughed no more. My Delilah.
This was that was done with Gussie Clark, you know that. And
Yes.
he did
And also, at the same time too, in the mid 70s, Jacob Miller did a version of Delilah.
right. So again, a lot of this tendency for the overlapping reworking of songs. Remember, during this time, we never had the kind of copyright regulations that you now have. So these artists had a fair amount of freedom to pick a song and rework it for themselves. Of course, as time progressed, that opportunity dissipated. But I think it did well in terms of how it helped to build, you know, the confidence of the artists.
And what I like about this song too is that they tried to keep it as much to the original as possible, with the background harmonies, the Mexican trombone or the horns in the background,
Kind of
that flair.
Yeah.
The same kind of arrangement that Tom Jones had on his song.
Absolutely. He another song you to want me. Again, another sampling thing of Horace Andy picking up music that was out there and reworking it and lending it his own style. Let's give a listen.
time for me to that you try so not to show something in my soul just proud. I see the warm in your blue eyes, baby. I love you to want me the way that I want you, the way that it should be, baby.
Yeah, this was a song that was originally done by Lobo.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And he again, this tour is him moving away from the studio one. So these were, I think, these two songs were done with Gussie Clark, and then he by this time Channel One had opened up the Who Kim Brothers, and
Right.
he went. The Who Kim had one of the most modern studios. In fact, there was a story with them too, and they said they came in the business, they put the equipment together, but had no the technical side of being in the business. They never knew too much about that, and so they put the studio together. Horace and they christened the studio himself with a big tune called Jaja Children. He also did Girl I Love You. If Girl I Love You, but the loving has gone forever. In fact, let's give a listen to Girl I
a
Love You.
big song. That is a monster song.
There you go.
Baby girl, yeah. Girl, I love you, but your love that's gone forever. Gonna miss you, but your love that's gone forever. I said I love you, but your love that's gone forever. Girl, I hate to say goodbye, 'cause I don't want to see you cry. I promise I'll never let you down. So if you love me, hit that button, you'll stick around. Girl, you love me, but my love that's gone forever. You're gonna miss me, but my love that's gone forever. Girl, you love me, but my love that's gone forever. No, it's hard to tell that true love exists, but I know this one is for real.
You know, God, as you put this one on the machine, it take me back to the days of student union or the fets at what was then cast at the time, eh?
Yes.
No,
Yes.
UTEC, because this and this is where you call rubber dub tune, because
Yes. Yes.
they
Yes.
literally
Yes.
took off the flip side of this tune was the quintessential, because it was just the instrumental, but you put that on the turntable and the middle of the dance floor empty because every man and him girl dep on the wall, and this was the rubber dub thing. Right behind that was another big tune, Lonely Woman. Again, the hallmark of the 1970s, when the music almost literally talk to you. You know, the time you have a little girl that come from, you just graduate high school and you just get your first job, and you take your girl to one of them student union session. When you drop Horace and on the turntable, nothing else, no important. You have a little one bottle of beer and that run for the whole night, because you know, and if
That's
you're
all
a
you
man
could
about
afford. That's all you could afford. One bottle of beer.
Words if you are about a liquor split, and then when them through they play. Let's give the listeners a taste. Lonely Woman.
Lonely woman, out of your lonely world, lonely woman. I'll write in your future for you. Your heartbreaker has forsaken you. Then why can't you forsake him too? Oh, lonely woman, get out of your lonely world. Lonely woman, I'll write in your future for you. Happiness don't come once in a while. So lonely woman, forget your past. I'll write in your future for you.
Big tune.
Big monster tune.
Big. Monster tune. I
Yes,
think,
yes.
in my opinion, I mean, Skylarkin was in a league, but this too found a league for himself in terms of the Horace and the catalog. And again, big dancehall tune because even today, you drop this and then you play Night Call right behind it, and the place completely tear down. What me say? Oh, me
Yes.
sound. That's all I know
True,
about
true.
sound business.
You know, little bit, just a touch.
Just a thought why you mark hard. But this is a tune that was done with Derek Harriott. Derek Harriott, had a
And
nice little
and
production
and it is a
operation.
distinct sound to us. That is Derek Harriot's sound. See, he's
There you go. He did some work too with Harry J. There was another tune of which we should give the listeners a taste of. God is displeased. And again, this is Horace and the literally playing the field in terms of the
freelancing.
production outfits that were out there.
Yes.
He was freelance. There you go. And so and again, he had the ability, talent. He could put music together. He could write, and he understood production, and he definitely understood the business side of what he was doing. Because as we go later down in the program, you will see where he again revisited a lot of these tunes. But let's give the people a listen. God is displeased. This is on the Harry J label.
The sun, the moon, and the stars are much perfect than who are on earth. The birds, the bees, and the butterflies. Forward, power, know yourself. Thousands of people die every day. Why waste money on technology? Forward, power, feed the hunger, and a better world this will be. And a better world this will be.
This
man.
again, I just wanna, for the listeners out there, what we're trying to do is, to play some tunes so that a lot of the current selectors really don't play. This is a demonstration, an indication, if you will, of the depth of the catalog that people like a Horace and they have. We tend to play 5 or 6 tunes from this man's catalog when the man's work is significantly vast. Now he covered Tony Orlando's tune with Robbie Shakespeare's label, Barbell label, a tune called
Yes.
Bless You. Again, another classic. If I don't tell you that this wasn't Horace Andy's original, because most of us accepted that this was his original tune. But let's give a listen to Bless You. And again, if you're just joining us, you are tuned in.
Every time I face the world, I just had to cry. I stood alone with no love of my own. Then you have been born, oh darling. Bless you, bless every breath that you take. Yeah, bless every move that you make so perfectly. And bless your little heart for loving me. Bless you, child. When you smile and take my hand, I felt kind of strong. You stood by me for the world to see. Then I felt 10 feet tall, oh darling. Bless you, bless every breath that you take. Yeah, bless every move that you make so perfectly. And bless your little heart for loving me. Bless you.
Now this song was revisited. This song was revisited later again in the 80s and redone on the Far East rhythm, and that is what I would call a big party song. Again, it was a big hit in the 70s, and then when he redid it in the 80s, it gained new legs, you know, and that song. So I want to touch that again. It's a little bit quick 20 seconds. Quick 20 seconds.
You child, lift you your. Every time I face the world, I just had to cry. I stood alone with no love of my own. But then you have been by, oh darling. Bless you, bless every breath that you take, girl. Bless every move that you make so perfectly. And bless your little heart for loving me. Ooh, bless your...
That taste that got. Again, it show you again. Here's a man, because this was redone what year?
It was in the 80s. I think it was 1985, 86. If I'm not mistaken.
So you're talking about 15, 17 years after.
Right.
And his voice still sound the same way. Eh? They again, so here was Horace Andy doing something that he did fairly frequently, where he would go back and revisit his older catalog and rework those songs. So
actually that was 1988. 1988.
Okay. So yes. We're talking about almost 20 years later, and the song again, just by a revisitation, you get a fresh tune, the same lyrics, but a different styling, and just to show you how this artist kept himself relevant. Because by 1988, most of these artists who were singing with him in that time had kind of dissipated from the
right.
the scene. He did a song too. There was a duet he did with Freddie McKay called "Talking Love," and I think right after that he went back to Channel One again, where he did "Beware of a Smiling Face." But let's give a listen to this duet with Freddie McKay, Horace Andy, "Talking Love."
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Freddie McKay is a man who did Picture on the Wall, which is a
a big hit, big hit, a big hit, big hit, big hit. But we're gonna touch a little Freddie McKay at some point in this Sunday Scoops program. But now for the work, all of the work that Horace and they had done, and all of the seminal early work with Coxsnet Studio One. My view is that when he did the work he did with Bonnie Lee is the part of his catalog that is outstanding, right? You have tunes like Something on My Mind. I think we gave the listeners a little touch already.
No, we haven't touched that one yet. We haven't touched that one yet.
But we give them a touch of Money Money and
yes.
Right? But Something on My Mind. Now, when you talk about taking the music to another level, and Bonnie Lee made that point. He said when Horace and the Cominem studio and the material that he started to put out, this is one of the artists that helped put him, Bonnie Lee, on the map. Let's give a listen to Something on My Mind. You're listening to Sunday Scoops, and today we're featuring the work.
Yes, and if you're listening on carryvibes.com, big up. Those of you who are on yardmedia.com, today is our debut day where we're broadcasting to our own website on yardmedia.com, and also to those on mixlr.com. Old School Rules, man like Carl Hitman Marshall, Dimitri, Migraine, the crew, big up yourself. Here is Something on My Mind.
Something's on my mind. I got to tell everyone, even the man and woman of today. Hear what I say. You must behave yourself. Remember what the Father say. You must obey in every way. In every way. In every way. In every way. In every way.
You hear the distinct change in the tone and the tempo of the music. You picked it up when you did his work with Channel One. You get a sense of it's almost a reawakening of the music working here with Bonnie Lee. Eh?
Definitely.
He went on some classic. You Are My Angel. I've Got to Get Away. Better Call It. All of these are some tunes that were now coming from this time. We sampled Love of a Woman already. But let's give a listen. You Are My Angel.
Yeah. So we're just going to run these next 3 songs back to back. You Are My Angel coming up. Right. It was done with Bonnie Lee, Mm-hmm.
Baby girl.
And this one is Better Collie.
This a Cali, a better Cali, than feel Cali. This a Cali, a better Cali, than feel Cali. Coming from the hills with me, I should on the head. I see one trade in my smoke and sleep, say that the best. In a this land, say that the best. I sit in with the dread, take off my actions off of my head, it a the hurricane. Yes, I know it a the hurricane. Oh, shut your mouth, not to feel a slip. This a gallery, we go straight to your head, it a the hurricane. It will lick you down, it a the hurricane. It will get you red, it a the hurricane.
Now, what's interesting about that song is that Cornel Campbell did a song called The Gorgon and the same rhythm.
The Gorgon.
Yes.
It's the same rhythm, yeah.
No,
It is the
that's
same
that's,
rhythm.
that's a brother we have to visit very soon, Cornel Campbell. And
Cornel
the
Campbell
final
have one
song
of the most extensive.
in the trio, I've Got to Get Away, Horace Andy.
There's a man that lives next door in my neighborhood, in my neighborhood. He gets me down. He gets in so late at night, always a fussing fight, always a fussing fight, all through the night. I've got to get away from here. This is not a place for me to stay. I've got to take my family and find a quiet Hear the Batman hands them fall, bang against the wall, bang against the wall, no rest at all.
No rest at all.
Now, this is a cover of Garnet
tune
Mims' Quiet Place, otherwise known as Johnny
Garnet Mims
Dollar.
and Enchanted, yes.
Dennis Brown did it.
Yeah.
John Holt and the Paragons did it, and this is Horace Andy's take on it.
Absolutely. It was called when Roland Boyle. What was his title? Johnny Dollar. Yeah.
Yes, Johnny Dollar.
The original is Garnet
Quiet
Mims and
Place.
A Quiet Place. Absolutely. All right. So we're moving. We wanna because we're running out of time, God. But that's why when you have whole heap of music and you have a thing. Now, Horace Andy by this time now is looking overseas. He is now, we're getting towards the end of the 1970s, and like most of the artists, looking outside because the social and economic conditions not so great. I mean, the music big time, but I'm not making any money. And Horace, by 1977, decided to, let's do a thing. I think he went to Connecticut. And he made a connection with a guy, Everton da Silva, who can't remember the name of that outfit. Hungry Town Labor was the label.
Yes, Hungry Town Labor. Yes.
Right. And he kind of hit the ground running with a tune called Youths of Today. And of course, one of my big favorites. Do You Love My Music? Well, let's give the listeners a taste. Youths of Today. A nice little tune.
I don't know what's wrong with the youth of today. I really don't know what's wrong with the youth of today. Every day they feel dark don't know the meaning of love, but someday they'll know the meaning of love. Someday.
Yeah, that was one of the first pieces that they put out with this new label, and then I think they did a re-recording as well of of Fever, which again a big dancehall tune down here, but the tune that for me showed the maturity was this tune, "Do You Love My Music?"
Do you love my music? Do you love my music? Do you feel it? Oh yeah. Come and tell me, do you feel it in your bones? Do you feel it down to your toes? Yeah, oh, yeah. Come and tell me, rock to the music, scan to the music. Do you love reggae music?
Now, do you love my music? Big, big song. Love this song. Love this song.
I'm telling you, give a big shout out. Eh? Let me give a quick shout out, guys, to Angela. Who's regular number of others, but you know, who seem to listen us out. And they behind that big tune that a country, our own period in Jamaica, big 1980s election, and a big land, if I remember, this was the period when the government was doing the sites and services housing program, which was another way to build the political garrisons. And out of that came an effort by Horace that they call Government Land, a tune which, in my view, was his registering his own views, his protests on the benefits style approach to politics. Government Land.
Give up the land, government land. Give up the land. Give up the land, government land. Give up the land. 'Cause the people ain't got no money to buy the land. And if they should go and live on here, all you do is bulldoze them. Give up your land, government land. Give up your land. Give up your land, government land. Give up your land.
Yeah. And in this song, he must just start us saying, give up the land. He said, give up Jalan. In other words, the land
Yeah,
is not yours. So give it up. Let go the land. Free up the land.
you don't know Rasta is a Rasta thing, you know. Rasta man basically feel that the earth, the creator set the earth up and man must enjoy. So
Yes.
in a way, you can't knock it. It is Jaja land. But again, this is a conscious side. If Horace and again stepping into his own conscious zone. But this is a period too. He is now touring. He's now out of Jamaica, doing a lot of work. I know you have pulled up some music from this later side of his catalog, and I want you to
Yes.
treat the listeners to this piece of Horace Andy. Take it away.
Yeah. First, I want to go, there's a couple of songs that we never touched in his regular catalog. And then wind down with a couple of songs that he did with a German producer in 2010. That was one of his latest albums. And also Trip Hop with Massive Attack, because right now he's doing a lot of work with the people in the trip hop, not hip hop, trip hop, and also the electronic side of the business, and which gives open things up to a whole different arena. And again, revisiting some of his earlier works. But
Some
a
of his
couple
old
of
catalog.
songs couple of
Right.
songs which were big hits for him was songs like Don't Go, which goes like this.
If I got on my knees and I pleaded with you not to go, but to stay in my arms, knowing how I need you so, but you still turn and go. But this time will be different in some ways. Don't go, please stay. Don't go.
And that was a cover version, of another hit song. Also, Bill Withers, he did a cover version of Bill Withers, Rest in Peace, Ain't No Sunshine.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. It's not warm when she's away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and she's always gone too long. Anytime she goes away, wondering this time where she's gone, wondering if she's going to stay. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Ain't this house just ain't no home anytime she goes away.
And back to his Studio One days with Coxon with Just Say Who, monster tune, big dancehall tune.
Just say, well, ain't no sunshine.
Just say ooh, baby. Just say ooh, baby. Just say ooh. Won't you tell me ooh, when the first time that I ever saw you, I told you that I love you. But now I heard someone say that you love someone new. Just say ooh, won't you
No, this is another song that the coming up song that coming up is a song which is whenever you have vinyl Mondays and this song drop on the turntable, this song get a whole heap of forward. My guiding star.
No sunshine when
Sorry.
The one is where you wake up, listen.
you are master.
I'll pull up the part. I'll pull up. Let me tell you something. That guiding star again, the heart of the music, heart of the 70s is going on, right? This is where
Yes.
the music, when we talk about the dancehall influence and the dub influence, this is
From the
over
top,
to you, Mr.
Mr. Selected.
Wheels of Steel.
You are master. My guiding star, that's what you are. Girl, you're always there, you're never far. You gave me love when I was down. You're the only one I had around. How can I leave you? How can I leave you? How can I leave you when I love you so?
Yeah, I just want to give thanks to DMR Media for his wonderful job he's doing, technical side of things. In a couple of minutes on Carry Vibes will be Exotic Soul with Ali Chinloy, and you can join them over there. You can listen to us also on yardmedia.com and also on Mixlr, Old School Rules. Big up to all DJs and listeners who are on Old School Rules. Next song is the trip hop version. This is Horace Andy delving into the electronic side and exploring a whole different genre in the European side of things, working with Massive Attack. And this is modern take on the Spyglass, which is a rework of one of his earlier songs done in 1983.
You live in the city, you stay by yourself, and you are fine on weekends. Still some people, they brand you, yeah, it just because you are Rasta. You move to the country. You live in the hills. You are fine on company. When you check with them or you spyglass, they want to know all your business.
What do you think, Blackford? Mr. Sir?
Well, yeah, you need to put on the surf on the thing because when we listen to Horace Andy, you still have your mother still a change nappy. But
I
anyway,
tell you.
but anyway, she raised a good son. Okay, I would never fault her with that. No, it shows the kind of versatility. Here is a man who has, from the minute he came into the business, 1970, 71, he basically he knew the direction he wanted to go. The good ones are the ones who usually take the telling. And if you go back to his origins, the days when him used to sit down under the tree down a cox, and to where he is. He's changing with the times. The music has changed, and he has no problem in demonstrating his relevance. One thing is clear though, is that over the period that he has been performing, he has demonstrated, distinguished himself as a vocalist in a more ways than one. And even though a lot of the belly of his music catalog is takes us back into the 1970s, the work is still very, very relevant. But again, as you said, he has been doing a lot of work. After the coming to Connecticut, he went to the UK as well. And
Yes, and he still has his base in the UK. I mean, he
right,
has traveled extensively across the planet. But recently, again in 2010, 10 years ago, and if a song is 10 years old in the DJ business, we recognize it as a oldie. It's not vintage, but it's an old tune. But he did some
right,
work with this German producer called Christofferson. And one of the reasons why I love these, I want to play a couple of songs, is that these songs were, the drumming was no other than Leroy Horsemouth
awesome,
Wallace, one of the best drummers to come out of Jamaica. And this
absolutely.
is a song on the album called Serious Times, called Your Friend. I'm going to feature Your Friend, Serious Times, and another song called Rastafari. But these are the three songs that I listened to the album, and these are the three songs that stood out to me.
I ain't afraid of them. No, yeah. Just beware of them. Rasta tell them. Oh, I carry news on you. Your friend, your friend, your friend, your friend. Oh, I tell lies on you. Your friend, your friend, your friend, your friend. Oh, I carry your business on the street. Your friend, your friend, your friend, your friend. We don't wanna kill you. Your friend, your friend, your friend, your friend. A good friend is better than pocket money.
And if you notice how heavy on the dub side this song is, and one of the things that even though the producer, German producer Christofferson, was the one who did the steering, the good thing about Horace Andy is that he always has a hand in the production and the sound too, you know. And the next song, Rastafari, which is Ode to Selassie, this is the next song that I took out, which is very, very big tune.
Yeah.
Again, heavy dub.
Just come first every time. See? And all of the things dead lads. Yeah. Rastafari is the light. Rastafari shines so bright, so bright. Rastafari is the Rastaman's light. Rastafari choosing right. Rastafari teach the youth to be strong. Have love and respect for everyone. Never will you go astray when you're on the Rastaman every day.
And the next song is the title track of the album, Serious Times, and we're going to wrap up from here. We're going to play about 30 seconds of that song, and it's Serious Times, title track of the album, again released in 2010 from Germany. It was never released in the US or in Jamaica. You can only get this album in Europe.
Rastafari, last year. to you. This a serious time. We are living in now. One mistake, you will lose your life.
Yes, sir. Serious times. One mistake, you'll lose your life, especially in this COVID-19 times. This wraps up another Sunday Scoops. Where's Mr. Blackford?
Yeah, this has been a pretty nice program. We have had our fair share of issues, but I think we navigated well. Plus, we got a chance to preview the new website. For those people who have joined us on the site, I want to thank you for taking the time out. And this is where we plan on growing Sunday schools, growing yard media, for that matter.
Yes, sir.
As we look forward next week, we plan on bringing you another equally interesting program. And until then, just want to big up DMR Media, because without
Yes,
them,
sir. What good?
we wouldn't be able to do this thing. Again, thank you everyone, everywhere that you joined us. It's a nice feeling knowing that multiple outlets are now taking this broadcast, and it does augur well for the future. Hopefully, by the time we get out of this COVID environment, we have everything down pat. But grow with us. Walk good for the rest of the Sunday evening, and again, see you next week Sunday.